What's up, bro?
What's the business, brother?
Ain't nothing was good with it today.
Man, nothing much, man. I elevated up into these nosebleeds, man, so we can spit some of this game
All
at a
day.
high level. You
Trying
know
to
what I'm saying?
trying to, man. We gotta help these folks out, man. Let them see it from a different view than it's
Yeah, man.
on these ESPNs and all that. Everybody watering it down with they takes. Ain't nobody getting it like it's supposed to be. Like you say, game at the highest level.
Absolutely, real brother. Absolutely, man.
So look, my question for you today though, in these nosebleeds, I just want you to tell me honestly, why coaching matters? Because I believe it
Mm.
matters. But some people seem that these kids nowadays seem to think they don't need a coach.
Well,
And I
man,
think it matters. So why do you think it matters? And then we're gonna give
man,
examples of why it matters and we'll show examples from
man,
different
legendary, a legendary high school coach, Rodney Williams, who has a gym named after him. Um,
who is he?
Worked under him a lot of years.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
somebody you know. Okay.
yeah, started 21st century
Okay.
helped start 21st Century Charter School. He would always, say to me, man, it's not about Jimmys and Joes. I mean, it's not about X's and O's. It's about Jimmys and Joes.
Okay.
And so without having the dogs, on the leash, it's hard to go into a pit bull fight, right? Um,
You losing me some kind of way. I hear
yeah,
you though,
what?
but I'm trying to see what you're saying.
No,
Are you
no, no. I mean, if you ain't got the dogs to go to a fight with, you ain't really got a chance to win. Uh, no pun to Michael Vick.
and I got you, but how does that you say you got the dogs to go? You say that, but I guess my opinion is if I don't need all dogs. If all I need is some kids to listen. That's what I mean by coaching matters because you it's a lot of people out here coaching. Can't coach a lick.
Yeah,
But like
yeah,
you said, if you give a coach a decent coach, he ain't gotta be good. A decent coach, some dogs, it's
yeah,
lights out then. Prime
yeah. I
example.
mean,
I'm gonna give you a prime example just off what we talking about. And this just
mhm.
happened recently. The guy, and I'm finna say something now. I know a lot of people don't probably agree with this, but I'm watching, so I see it. Give them a few years, they finna do something. The coach out of in Detroit right now, Campbell. Them boys playing hard for him. That's
Yeah,
coaching. That
yeah,
ain't they
yeah.
don't win in Detroit. They don't they just beat
Nah,
they beat the brakes off of well, they didn't beat the
Green Bay.
brakes off. They didn't beat the brakes off of them, but they was fighting through the whole game. That's coaching, man.
First off, they ended Green Bay's 5-game winning streak. You
And they
know,
stopped them from going to the playoffs when they just thought they was going. They thought it
yeah,
was an
and
easy
and, and,
win.
and Green Bay traditionally owns the Detroit Lions, and so no, I definitely like Campbell. I liked him when they only won 1 or 2 games.
But
He has his boys playing. We in the nosebleed spend the game at a high level, but he keep his players playing at a high level. So, I definitely think that Campbell made a difference. And, you add St. Brown, you get him a quarterback, you know what I'm saying?
that's what I mean by
He
coaching matters. That's all
he's
I'm
getting
saying.
but he's getting some Jimmys and Joes, you know what I'm saying, to go along with his
Play
X's
hard
and
for them.
O's.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. So that's
yeah.
all I'm saying. So if we get some so I just used that example. Let me give you a whole nother example. Some decent coaching going on right now. Um, I'm gonna use a player. Andrew Wiggins was looking like trash in Minnesota. He got over to Golden State Warriors. The dude, an all star. Come on, man, that's coaching.
So you saying that, let me get this straight. You saying Steve Kerr is a great coach?
I believe so.
Well, a lot of people would disagree with that and say Steve Kerr only inherited the
That was
team
one.
that Mark
That was their.
Jackson
That was their
put
first.
together.
That was. I agree with that, but that was 1 or 2
Okay,
years. You still got to keep that train rolling.
okay,
So the first couple years, okay, I agree with you. Mark Jackson, it was his squad. He put it together. He was getting it right. He tweaked some things, right? And that train's still rolling. And the reason why I said Andrew Wiggins, this was made Steve Kerr stand out to me. he didn't. I'm just looking from the outside looking in. Andrew Wiggins is one of those guys who don't need yelling and doing all that. He don't need that. He needs you to put your arm around him and be like, "Look, man, okay, coach. Every kid is different. You cannot
Yeah,
coach everybody the fucking same. That's a lot of these people' problem. Because some people need to be yelled at, some don't.
yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of coaching, you talking about the NBA. How about what Jacques Vaughn is doing in Brooklyn? You know, they had a horrible Steve Nash. You know what I'm saying?
No, 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 no.
Hey,
Steve Nash wasn't horrible. Steve Nash wouldn't hold no fucking body accountable. He should have been. He should have been set them motherfuckers out and sent them home. And because when he first got there and they was basically not running this shit and this and that, sit them motherfuckers at the end of the bench. That one. Don't get me wrong. The NBA is different because you can't really do that. The money say you got to do X, Y, and Z. But all
exactly.
that ain't on Steve Nash, man. Kevin Durant and
Man,
Kyrie was over
well,
there
what,
fucking
well,
them up.
how, well, again, you can take up for Steve Nash all you want, brother,
I ain't
but
taking up for him. I'm just saying though.
Brooklyn is playing great basketball since Jacques Vaughn took over. And, though they almost hired Udoka, they went with Vaughn.
I'm glad
Vaughn
they went with Vaughn though. He's a coach. He was
yeah.
decent back in his
Vaughn
Kansas.
got him playing defense. He had him playing really well. They was on the 8, 9, 10 game win
I
streak
seen that. And then
before KD got
yeah,
got
yeah.
hurt. And they're still playing well.
They
They
gonna
got a
put some
guy who
boys
couldn't
up
stay.
now though, for sure. I'm with you. I agree with that. That's
Yeah,
good coaching. Let's still go back. It's coaching matters. But
yeah.
why these kids all of a sudden these days, why don't they believe coaching matters? Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you one and I'm gonna let you go with this one. Um Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin,
Yeah.
man, that boy been what 16, 15, 16 years? How long?
16 seasons.
And
Mike
no,
Tomlin has not had a losing season. And a lot of people talk a lot of trash about the first Super Bowl being, you know,
I
big.
know
Oh, I can't, why am I not
you
thinking
know
of
you're
his
talking
name right
about
now?
the old coach. He was
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, they said that, that it was, his championship.
Didn't
But,
Tomlin get two though, right?
well, he took another team to the Super
To the
Bowl.
Super Bowl, they didn't win.
Yeah. He
Okay.
took another team to the Super Bowl, and again, we only lost to a hungry Green Bay team, and Aaron Rodgers, who got his only Super Bowl. But there's one thing when you look at all of the parity in the NFL. There's only one constant in the NFL in the last 16 years, and that's Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers winning. You know, look at I think this year might be his greatest coaching exploits. Team started 1-5 without their best player in T.J. Watt. Even Minka Fitzpatrick was injured a lot this season, and for him to take a rookie quarterback and make a hell of a run, to get to 9-8, only to be spoiled by the Miami Dolphins getting a lucky ass win, the only reason why they didn't make the playoffs. So, and then doing it, I think in the toughest division in the NFL.
And
You know,
see,
the Go
you
ahead.
say you saying this was his best season to stay above 500. I
Yeah,
think it was the last, not this one, the two or three before this one. Ben Roethlisberger was stinking up the joint, and he still was
yeah,
finding a way to win.
yeah,
And I'm just
yeah.
saying, 'cause it was almost to me. I felt like this, just watching from afar. I felt like they was basically letting Ben Roethlisberger trying to run Mike Tomlin out of town from how Ben Roethlisberger was playing because that wasn't nobody speaking on it. They was just talking about the Steelers losing, but Ben Roethlisberger throwing the ball to anybody. All you had to do was act like you was open, and you ain't even got to be on his team. He'll throw you the ball,
I mean, the Steelers organization is a high quality organization. They've only had five head coaches since the 70s.
right?
Like, think about that for a second. And so, it wasn't too much going to happen, to get Mike Tomlin ran out of town. The only thing that could have got him ran out of town was his coaching ability. And fortunately for the organization and for the fans, his coaching ability has been A1 from the day one. And, shout out to the good Nuke because he done did his thing, man. And, he is really one of the reasons why more men of color should get the opportunity to coach in the NFL because when given that opportunity, you know, it seems that we have excelled, to say the least. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Mike Tomlin. But since we talking about the NFL, I got a motherfucker for you who ain't never did shit, and people talking about he's one of the greatest coaches to ever do it, and that's your man Chucky, uh, John Gruden. You know what I'm saying? Gruden got one title,
And that was,
and
I'm like you now. That wasn't his team,
no, it wasn't his team. That was Tony Dungy's team. Now
right?
Tony Dungy went on to Indianapolis to get him a Super Bowl, but Tony Dungy built the team. They fired him. Gruden comes in and wins with that team, but Gruden ain't won shit since then.
I was gonna say, I think Keyshawn called it out one time. Was talking.
Mhm.
He said exactly what you're saying. Gruden ain't who y'all think he is.
Yeah,
So I
you
agree
know,
with you. Now.
John Gruden was a great commentator. He did some good stuff with those quarterbacks while he was out of a coaching job. He went to the Raiders and damn near destroyed that team. You know what I'm saying? Didn't do a goddamn thing with the Raiders. Matter of fact, took them from a decent team to a very poor quality team. And then the Raiders organization and fans get lucky. You know, he made a mistake and, you know, exposed some shit with the NFL. And so,
It's
you
kind of the
know,
same thing with the guy for the Raiders right now. He over there fucking up that damn team. Derek
Josh
Carr, a
McDaniel.
decent quarterback, man. Yeah, Josh
Yeah.
McDaniels, man. Come on, man. He did that same bullshit up in Denver a few
We're
years
talking we're talking about coaching matters, and Bill Belichick is definitely one of the greatest coaches to ever do it. And it seems that everybody from his coaching tree, whether it's Romeo Crennel,
back.
Josh
Ooh,
McDaniel, I
right.
forget what Sam
They're
Weiss.
not head coaches though.
Yeah, they
Right.
go on to other jobs, but they
Yeah.
don't do well in those other jobs.
Ooh, that's actually a good point. What you think that's related to?
I mean, I think it's you know winning breeds. Like anytime somebody think about it, the 7 through 12 players on any NBA roster and the 35 through 50 something player on any NFL roster, after they win a Super Bowl or win an NBA championship or win an MLB championship, them boys go off and get paid because they feel like winning is in their DNA, and bringing these guys in is going to help them win. But a lot of times, it doesn't work out because they were just in the environment. They wasn't part of the cogs that were moving the machine, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And so,
but I agree with you to a sense, but at the same token, they must have did something right to get some type of coaching job. So when they get the coaching job, why can't they put their own imprint on it to make it their own? Is my question.
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, think about somebody who did that and actually, got to give him some props was Eric Spoelstra, right? Everybody was
Yeah,
talking about Pat Riley.
put his own
Pat
spin
Riley
on it,
really
right?
running the team, and Pat Riley this, Pat Riley that. But Eric Spoelstra is a guy who started in the nosebleeds just like us, G. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you ain't
saying?
lying.
Doing some videography, and was able to
Worked his way
capture
all
a
the way
couple.
to the top, right? Exactly.
Yeah, was able to capture a couple of
You
championships
know
in the
how hard this
process.
shit must have been for him to try to have to tell LeBron or Dwayne Wade to
Wow.
run the fucking play.
Right.
He built
Right.
some cachet up though. I like that though, man, because
Yeah.
even to that point, after they left, he's still been holding them down. So like coaching matters. At the end of the day,
No,
coaching matters.
Coach Matters. I got another one for you, G. Again, we talking NBA. It seems like
I
uh,
got some college ones for you. Who you got?
Mike Woodson. Everybody's, didn't give Mike Woodson any
Hmm.
props for him winning in Cleveland. Saying it's all LeBron, all Kyrie. But Mike Woodson has went to Sacramento and he got them boys balling. You
Mike
know,
Woodson?
Mike Woodson.
Oh,
Mike
that's
Woodson
Mike
is in
Brown, man.
Sacramento. Huh?
Mike Brown. Mike Brown. You talking
Oh,
Mike
Mike
Woodson?
Brown.
Yeah,
I'm
man. You talking
sorry.
about the guy that would play coach at the Knicks? That's who you Mike
Yeah, my
Woodson.
bad. Not Mike Woodson,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. And
Well, he
you're
get
right
me
though.
right.
And that almost killed his career too,
Yeah, Mike
because
Brown.
LeBron and ran him out like he wasn't, and he was decent in Cleveland.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad coach
You're
in
right about
Cleveland
that.
by no means. And now he got Sacramento, them boys up there balling. And, having lived in Sacramento, man, you have a chance to really get some people to love you. And you go up there and win, you become legendary. And so he has the
So
opportunity to really rebuild his career, and he has some great young players, Demontis Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, but I think Malik Monk is up there. Um, you
That's some
know,
young talent.
yeah, they got some good young talent, and then they still got Harrison Barnes up there, hold on. But man, but
Yeah,
Mike
you right.
Woodson is doing something. He's doing something with those guys.
You know what's funny? Like I said, still goes back to coaching matters. But what's the guy? Rick Pitino and Calipari. They had them
Mm.
stints in the NBA and wasn't shit. But in college, they decent college coaches. So
I mean, how many
that was
college
just a bad
coaches?
fit of coaching where they're at and the guys that they get. Like you said, back to the having the dogs for the fight.
Yeah.
Or the message. Because if your message is too soft for grown professional players, they not going for it. But you can get that same message to some kids, and they don't have a choice but to go for it.
How many college coaches has come to the NBA and been successful?
College coaches?
Yeah,
Oh,
not
NBA.
too many. Tarkanian. I mean, some of the greats have done it and have not
Tark
been
ain't
able to
got no
do it.
good run in the NBA, did he?
No, horrible
Yeah,
run.
yeah. I'm trying to think though.
No, it hasn't been too
Anybody?
many.
Anybody?
I mean, Billy Donovan is with the Bulls right now, right?
And he ain't doing hot.
I mean, again, he's supposed to have one of the best teams in the league. Last year, he seemed to kind of turn it around.
Who?
They
Wait a minute.
still went out the first
Wait a minute. Wait a
round.
minute. Wait a minute. Let me double back. He's supposed to have one of the best teams in the league. What team is that?
Right.
I'm asking. You
I
ain't
don't
talking
like
about
the
the Bulls,
Chicago
is
Bulls.
I
Now,
just read. I just read. They trying to trade Zach LaVine in Miami. He trying to get him. I just seen that.
I mean, because Zach LaVine don't want to play for this raggedy ass coach that they got up there, and
Yeah,
he's
because
called him out.
because
He's
he
called
tried.
him out on
No, no,
several
no, no.
occasions.
First off, Billy Donovan is not a horrible coach. He's trying to run college systems in the NBA. It don't work.
I mean, again, I'm not gonna speak on the quality of coach he is. He done made a lot of money, did some things. I'm just saying, with the roster that he has up there, a lot of people had a lot of high expectations. Me, I think the Bulls, all Chicago sports, have the worst management in professional sports, period. Whether it's the Cubs, whether it's the Bulls, whether it's the only team that even the Bears. The Bears have the absolute worst management. The Blackhawks have done a little
Why do you
bit.
think that is?
The White Sox, because they know Chicago fans are going to come anyway.
Yeah, but
They don't have to
so
win.
they're not doing it to try. They don't try to put a good
No,
product on the
no.
floor.
Same thing about the New York Knicks. They don't have to put a winner on the floor for fans to still come. And as long as they don't have to put a winner on the floor, they're not going to put a winner.
That
And
don't make sense though. Why? Don't you know
because they're going to make
if you put a winner on the floor, you gonna make buku cash?
they making money regardless. So why spend money when they're going to make money anyway?
Damn, that's fucked up.
And
So
Chicago is cursed, man. I don't know what to say. Chicago fans can get mad at me
it ain't the fans.
all
Like
they
you said,
want,
it's
but
management. That management be on some bullshit. Like you said, they
pro-
don't be trying to put no real winners out there, and that
pro-
shit sucks though.
prove me wrong. Look at the Chicago Bears. You know what I'm saying? They're finally got a new GM, a new president. We'll see what happens in that situation. But the Bears ain't even attempted to win shit since '85. You
Man,
talk about the Bulls. Since the
they
Bulls dismantled Jordan,
85, 95, 2005,
2015.
15 is
Come
finna
on,
be that's almost 50 fucking years.
yeah, yeah, almost, and
40
they
years.
still ain't did shit. You know what I'm saying? Me being a Cubs fan, we got the title in 15. You know what I'm saying? I love the Cubs. I love nothing like going to Wrigley Field. It's something that my son and I love doing. Um, it's something about the aura of Wrigleyville. It's
Yeah,
just it's just a great experience.
right.
But man, they ain't trying to win, man. They ain't trying to win. They
I don't
they
know
they
though.
trade all their
At least the Cubs give a little. They give a little act like they. You know what I'm saying?
man. The
Not
Cubs ain't
saying they
did
here,
shit.
but they at least give you the inkling that they trying.
No, they ain't trying. And they haven't tried since they won it. When they dismantled the team, you don't
So what?
trade all your fucking superstars and say that you're trying to win. So, you
Trying
know,
to keep some money is what they trying to do.
yeah. I mean, you think about it. The guys that won, they're contributing on some teams all across the league. Um,
Yeah.
and you know, They're not trying to win in Chicago, and hopefully the Blackhawks don't fall into the same mode.
The Blackhawks be
But
trying to win. They put a good
I
product.
mean, they've won a couple in the last 5 or 6 years, but again,
They
man, it's
stay
Chicago
competitive.
sports.
Say it again.
It's Chicago sports, man. They know the fans are going to come anyway. They know they're going to sell merchandise anyway. Chicago has the worst managed teams in
You
professional
nitpicking right
sports.
now. You nitpicking talking about Chicago. It's a lot of fucking teams like that though. That ain't really trying to win. I don't even know why them owners do that revenue sharing shit. If you ain't trying to put a good product on the floor, I'm not giving you shit.
Well, you need the revenue share. You need the revenue share so you can at least halfway compete. But when you got people like Golden State that's willing to pay, the luxury tax, up the wazoo. Look what the New York Mets did. The New York Mets total salary is going to be like absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully they get a championship out of it. But the guy is spending money like crazy. So he's trying to win, for the Mets. You talk about the Yankees traditionally winning. The Yankees are willing to spend money to try to win.
Ain't the
Uh,
saying you got to spend money you got to make money?
yeah, that's definitely that's what I heard. That's.
I'm just saying. So I'm just saying what makes some of these teams think they just go ink by with some rinky dink ass bullshit ass ball players.
Gee,
You know,
long as they can get people in the seats. Being down here in Houston right now, you know what I'm saying? They paid for 2 years. I said them, watch them pay John Wall $80 million to not play, for him to go to the Clippers and help revitalize that Clippers team. Probably one of the best, most deepest rosters in the league.
you gonna have
They
these
got these young
all the time.
guys.
Every
They got
time you pick up the Clippers, I'm gonna tell you they still the Clippers.
well, I mean,
No
because they
matter
got
I don't
Paul
give,
George.
I
You
don't
ain't gonna
give
win
a fuck.
nothing with losing ass Paul
Man, if
George.
you could put Bron and any fucking body else on that team. If it say Clippers, they ain't doing shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
mean, hey, I hear what you're saying,
I'm just saying.
but you say coaching matters. Who they got? They got your boy Ty Lue.
Ty Lue
Uh,
a decent coach. I think it's the Clippers.
Say just the fact that the Clippers on their
It's the
jersey.
Clippers, man. I promise you. It's just some. I'm actually, as far as what I'm finna say, I'm not. I can't stand the Clippers. Clippers is a loser, like what you're saying. But when they move out of the Lakers building and get their own building, I might actually try to rock with them and try to help revitalize that shit for a minute because it'd be fresh. But as long as they've been sharing it, like you said, trying to save money, trying to share that building with LA, you the second. No nobody fuck with you like that. So don't nobody even care if you win or lose. The only reason they even go to motherfucking Clipper games is because ain't nothing else to do. Come on,
Well,
man.
I don't know if it's nothing else to do in LA, but and there's some diehard Clipper fans. They got a man, they got an owner who's willing to spend money. You know,
That's what I'm saying. But they building a stadium, right?
yeah, they building a stadium right now.
Yeah,
They
that's what
definitely
I'm
building a
saying.
stadium.
I can't wait to
But
see it.
when you got Kawhi Leonard, who ain't again I think our last episode we talking about moments that made people career. Kawhi Leonard ain't really done shit. He was part of a good team in San Antonio that won the championship
How
when
did
he
he
was
get his
young.
fucking name? Because he only won. You said he only won one in San Antonio. How did
He
he
won.
really
He only
get
won one in San Antonio, and then he had the shot that bounced on the rim that the world watched to knock off Philly, which probably should have been Philly's championship.
That was a good
He,
one, though. That was a good shot.
yeah, oh, it was a great one.
Right.
Injuries decimated the Golden State team. You know, they didn't. They didn't have their full roster going. In that finals, and
I'm
so
not even talking about that part. I'm saying how did before he even got to Toronto, San Antonio. What was he lockdown D or something? Like he got a name
yeah,
in San Antonio.
yeah, he was locked down there. He was the young kid playing with the old vets,
Right.
and you know he became known as one of the best two-way defenders in the league. But all I know is as far as being hurt and sitting out hella games.
I would say there go another decent coach right there when we say coaching matters. Pop.
Man,
I like
Pop is the man, bro. I
yeah,
mean,
I like
Indiana, man, Indiana's the mecca of basketball, and a lot of great basketball minds come out of Indiana. And Popovich being one of the most notable. Uh, Pop is, some of the little things that he does. You and I have private conversations about his inbound plays and
oh
how
man.
he has a stat that he tracks.
Right.
Uh,
You
You
run to
know,
play the score. I'm not running the ball, get the ball in. I'm trying to
nah.
score off the impact.
And then if you think about it, talking about coaching matters, what did San Antonio do before Pop? Not a goddamn thing. What
Right?
did they
He
do
gonna do
since
shit
Pop
after.
been there? How
Yeah,
many? Five titles? How many
yeah.
titles you got? Is it five?
And but you know what? Pop, his story is way bigger than just the titles. When they're not good, they're still decent.
Right,
That's what I like.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because you ain't gonna always have stars. You gotta, go through it and do this, and that, and they still be right there. And I like
right.
that. So like, I'm gonna give you a prime example off a player. I thought DeJounte Murray that went to Atlanta was still gonna be balling like he was in San Antonio. He didn't get to Atlanta and he didn't fell off. Maybe it's
Oh,
the
I did.
city, but he ain't
Uh,
giving me what I thought he should be giving me.
gee, I
Maybe Trey
disagree with
Young
that.
ball hogging him or something.
I disagree with that. I think he's doing well in Atlanta, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, but that dude could go. He
Yeah,
playing.
he can play, and I think again with look, Atlanta was nice without him. I think Atlanta's better with them. Will it make a
Yeah, but
difference in the
it's
East?
taking away from some of his game. Maybe it might show up in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, but when you talk about the East, shit, he can show up and he's still not getting nothing. Man, the East is deep. I mean, the East is better than it's been in so many
Right,
years. When
right.
you talk about Boston and the dynamic duo of Jason Tatum and Brown, you talk
But see
about
what you
Cleveland.
just said right there. What you just Tatum and Brown. That's what I was looking from Murray and Trey Young. Murray right now is getting his like
They've shown flashes of it though. They got it.
I haven't
It has
seen
to
it.
work.
I ain't seen it
I
yet.
mean,
I'm looking
it,
though. I'm looking.
it,
Believe me, I'm looking. But it seemed like he getting garbage shots and
I mean,
last 5 seconds
I
bullshit.
thought that my man Spider Mitchell going to Cleveland was gonna take away from Darius Garland's game. But they're looking like a duo that's gonna have to be dealt with,
You know,
in the East.
Darius Garland, honestly, he wasn't ready to take on the number one role like Mitchell is. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. Bringing the Mitchell in was just amazing.
There
And now
was. Yeah.
I
Now
think
that's
I think Cleveland really has a chance, to hurt some people's feelings,
I'm
in the East.
hoping they do it. I want to see
Yeah.
them do the championship game against whoever.
And nobody has shown me that they can beat the Milwaukee Bucks with Chris Middleton on the floor. And so whenever Middleton get back, if he can come back and be healthy, you know, the combination of Drew, Chris, and Giannis is
No,
just
you
something
know who you
that's
sleeping on with Milwaukee? I don't know if you've been watching them this year. That the little guard, not Drew Holiday. They got the other little guard.
is his
He been
name Carter.
yeah, he been knocking down some big shots for him.
Yeah, I mean,
So
again, like I said, I mean, I think he'll help, but
he gonna make
you
a
know,
difference because
if
they
they can
leaving him
get
wide
healthy,
open.
I can see him missing a lot of time and coming back and just making a huge difference, kind of like Clay has done in Golden State. Middleton is that good in my opinion.
How
You
long
know,
Middleton out right now?
yeah, he's still out. He came back and then I guess he had a setback and
What's the
so he,
injury?
I don't remember. It's maybe a knee or an ankle
It
or
ain't
something.
significant, is it?
Yeah, well, it's been significant. He's been out shit for damn near a year now.
What you mean?
He
Yeah.
came back he's only played 7 games this season.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's only played 7 games this season. So, I mean, hopefully he'll be able to get in shape. But even without him, Giannis is on the mission. And then I haven't even talked about Philly. I mean, when you're talking about James Harden, even though he's getting older, you know what I'm saying, with Joel Embiid, who we talked the other day, he's shit, MVP caliber, putting up like dynamic numbers right now, probably the best player in the league that's not Giannis or Jokic. Um, Philly's gonna have some say so in what happens in the East.
It's kind of funny that I'm glad you fell right into Philadelphia because coaching matters. They ain't doing shit. I don't give a fuck what. Doc
So you
Rivers is
don't
not
think
that
Doc
dude, man.
Rivers?
No, man. He not
So
that dude.
so
He done had too many. He done had too many horses. Too many horses on different teams. Tony had that shit up at that one championship up in
Boston.
Boston. Come on, man. Nah, I don't fuck with Doc like that.
I
Now, don't get me wrong.
mean,
I used to. I'm thinking like, oh, he get ready to. No, man. He ain't. It's some X's in. I don't even know.
bro,
Like,
it's probably some credence to what you're saying because really that was the first super team. That was the first team with 3 so-called superstars. Think about it.
and he
You
got
know,
that one because he shocked the league with that shit.
yeah, he
Got that
brought it.
team. They took it over the top. When everybody else caught up, when he had
Yeah,
to, like I said, and he be right there now. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about little small adjustments. Call timeout. Don't throw it over here. Throw it over there. Double back over here. Little shit that you see in the game when you see it happening, you got to stop and be like, no, I don't want y'all to do that. I want you to do. He don't do that. He just sit there like, come on, man. Nah, I ain't going for that.
I
I
mean,
love this game, so
speaking
I ain't
speaking
going
of
for that
coaching,
bullshit.
then what is Monty Williams doing in Phoenix? Is he going? Can he suffice? Like we
I
watched Phoenix get
believe,
their ass whooped by
honestly,
Dallas.
I think and it's just me, my opinion from what I've seen with that team will be better off. And I know this going to sound crazy. This is one of your hot ass takes, so it's probably coming from me. That team will be better off getting rid of Chris Paul and let Cameron Payne run that shit. And the reason why I say that they need a young guard who knows his place because they take Chris Paul be taking too many shots from Booker. That's just
I
my opinion.
mean, again, I think every superstar needs some help. I don't
I
know
didn't
if
say nothing
campaign.
about help. I said so. Chris Paul is one of them old ass stars. This ain't your
Yeah,
moment no more, bro. Fall back, fall back. But he don't want to do that. He's still out there trying to cook. Dude, he cooking like once every 2 weeks. Booker
yeah,
ready to go every night. That's the same shit that was going on with Westbrook and Durant in OKC. The person who's supposed to cook, let him cook and come on for the ride. But
yeah,
that ain't what Chris Paul doing. Chris Paul out there like this both our show. No, nigga, this ain't your show.
yeah. I mean, again, I don't know if I agree or disagree with that. I know that they underachieved last year,
And they
in
look
the
like they
playoffs,
underachieving again.
and it looks like this year that they're on the verge of underachieving. I mean,
Dude,
you
they
can't take away your toughness. Again, I told you I'm a basketball traditionalist, and when
they
you get
are in 10th place.
yeah,
I just
but they
I'm sitting there talking to you.
and they got their power forward from last year sitting on the bench waiting on the trade. Like, you
So
know,
why though? What's that about?
I mean that's management. That's GM. That's the
But
man
I'm saying,
buying the
what is it
groceries.
about? Why did they not want him? What's the problem there?
I don't know. And he ain't get no younger on the bench. I know they want to give some of those young guys a chance to play, but you know, Jay Crowder was a huge part of their success the past 2 years. And for him not even getting any consideration this year is just one of those asinine John Wall moments. Like he's better on the bench than being able to play. I don't understand that. I don't get that.
What is happening? I'm just sitting here looking at the schedule. I mean, the conference, the standings. What's going on in LA, man? Is that coaching? Because they in
Who?
13th place, man.
I
And
mean, everybody was excited about Darwin Ham. He's another guy who's a great assistant coach, I believe.
that's why I'm
But
asking. I don't
can he
know.
can, can he run a show? But I think what's going on in LA really and truly revolves around the health of Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is, a once in a lifetime talent. When he's on
Mhm.
the floor and playing, he really gets it done. But he's one of those dudes, man, ain't drinking enough milk or something, man. Like my son say, Daddy, he needs some milk.
That ain't.
Uh,
He need to quit fucking with these bitches. And
man,
I
son,
think he married or something, but you can't be fucking trying to hoop, man. The shit
man,
don't
he,
mix.
man, he just I don't know if that got something to do with his injuries, but maybe so.
Man, if you
But
weak,
he
bro.
can't stay healthy.
If you
And he
weak,
wasn't healthy. He wasn't healthy before he got to
in
LA.
New Orleans, he was. He was never healthy. You're right.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that's somebody who done stole some money because he give you brief signs of it, but for the most part, he ain't there like that. So
Hey, speaking of coaching matters, we can switch over to MLB. Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker had
ooh.
coached for a lot of teams,
And his
legendary.
teams was always decent too.
Yeah, but for him to just get a World Series last year or this year, I mean, was Dusty really that good? I'm just saying.
What's this
I
ready to
mean,
say? You're right.
he's done a lot. He's done a lot for the Astros, and I'm happy that he got one. But that Astro team was, already kind of set in stone. So,
Ooh,
you
that's
know,
excellent. See, that's a
is
really
Dusty
good one.
Baker a good major league manager? You know, maybe, maybe not.
What's the guy name that was in St. Louis for forever?
Tony La Russa.
Yeah. Was he decent? Because he only got the one.
I mean,
He was always in it, but they wasn't really doing no winning.
yeah. I mean,
I'm talking about the
it's
whole thing. He was
man,
winning a lot,
it's
but he
something.
wasn't winning no championships.
It's something to think about. It's
Yeah.
something to think about, man.
Which makes our point as far as, like you said, coaching matters. So
Do,
at the end,
do the Cubs win without Madden? He had won a couple in Tampa Bay, and then they bring him on, and he gets him one. He gets one in Chicago also. You know, Coaching matters regardless of whether it's a manager or a coach. But I think that he was definitely part of the reason why the Cubs was able to lift that 100 and something year curse.
yeah. And that since they won it, have they been decent since?
No,
They traded everything away. Got that one.
man, no manager. Yeah, Cause again, Chicago sports, bro.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
All right.
man.
Let's wait a minute. Let's end this one.